Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to change things up a little bit and show you guys what in my opinion is the best point and shoot, or at least one of the best point and shoot cameras on the market right now, especially with a 10x lens in a compact form factor. This is the Sony DSC-HX5V. It originally launched back in late March of 2010, so it's roughly a year old. It was priced at $350. It's now down to $250 because it's about to be updated, in other words replaced with the HX9V, which will have better specs. But I think for a lot of you, the extra $100 that camera will command in the next month or so when it does launch really won't be worthwhile. So let's talk about what you're getting here for, again, $250 direct through Sony. I've seen it as low as $200 on Amazon, so keep your eye on the link that I have in the description, because Amazon may very well have this camera on sale again. It was just last week that it was priced at $200, which is in fact what encouraged me to do this review for you guys, because I do feel that this camera deserves a lot of attention at this price point. So we're looking at a 10.2 megapixel CMOS sensor, the same one found in the TX7, really good with low light. This camera has a 10x lens, which you can see adds a little bit of bulk, not really a big deal in my opinion. It does do 10 frames per second, which is great for sports photography, anything where you really need to get as many shots, you don't want to miss a moment. As you can see on the right side, we've got the tripod mount. In the center, a proprietary port which works in conjunction with an HDMI adapter that Sony has been kind enough to include. To the left of that, you can see we've got our battery and memory card bay, which the batteries, I'm glad that they went with the NPBG series, because it's an older battery. It's been around for about, I think, 6 or so years, and as a result you can get them at a reasonable price, unlike the batteries found in the TX line of Sony cameras. Also, the memory card slot does accept a memory stick as well as SD cards, so that's a good thing. Pretty much standard now with Sony. They have taken on, or rather accepted, that SD cards are used by everyone. So that's a good thing. Again, that is a single slot, not a dual slot. It will only take one card at a time. Nothing on the left side of this. All plastic build, by the way, very solid construction, no complaints about that. As you can see on the right side, we've got a setting or a scene dial, found on many cameras. Gives you access to video, the different scenes, a lot of different modes. The most important ones, in my opinion, are the handheld night mode, really good for getting shots at night without a tripod. Arguably the best feature on the camera, in my opinion. Also, you've got, of course, like the easy mode if you don't want to touch any setting. Another, at least important feature is the iSweep panorama mode, which stitches together, photos to form a larger panoramic photo. Again, 10 frames per second, so really fast. Again, not a very large camera. You would think because of that 10x external zoom that it would be much larger than it actually is. Here you can see we've got the rocker for the zoom. It's a toggle-like. Some people will like that, some won't. I don't think it's a big deal. Your shutter button is right there. Half press gives you, focus. Full press takes the photo. Your power button, your burst mode button, then your left and right stereo microphones. Now, not in love with the placement on that. A little bit of a gripe there. As you can see, when you're holding it, you're naturally going to end up with your index finger or your thumb, depending on how you hold it, rubbing on those microphones. And as a result, the HX9V, one of its modifications in the design has been to center the microphones. So clearly we know why they did that. They realized that if you were going to use this camera, you would need to train yourself to hold it just as I am right now, because that really is the best way to hold it without ruining the audio and any video recording that you would do with this camera. And video, should I neglect to mention it, which I don't want to, is really great on this device. 1080i 60 frames per second AVC HD and 1080p 30 frames per second in MP4 mode, which of course is better for the computer or uploading, etc., sharing. AVC HD is what you're going to find on all high-end HD camcorders. Again, 10.2 megapixels, really in my opinion, with this sensor is more than enough for even 13 by 19 prints. So, you know, don't be fooled by the megapixel race. Unless you're planning on doing an art exhibit, you probably won't need the 16 megapixels crammed into the sensor on the updated model of this, the HX5V, but you may, you know, very well want that extra detail. That's up to you. The one big improvement that I'm interested in is that the update, the HX5V, will have a 16x lens as opposed to the 10x range that this camera offers. So that's pretty compelling. Also, the flash has been relocated. The flash has gone from, as you can see, the right side of the body to a pop out on the left top side of the camera on that new model. So there are some things. Go ahead and, you know, Google that. I should eventually have that to review as well, so you guys will get to see that. Let me go ahead and flip it over so you can see the 3-inch LCD screen. It's around 230,000 pixels, not the 900,000+ that you'll see on the TX line. As you can see, you've got a dedicated movie button there, which is great, which will immediately just throw you into video mode. You know, you're recording instantly. You've also got a playback button, you know, a directional pad that also doubles as flash, display, smile detection control, and timer. Of course, you've got the menu and the trash button there for deleting photos. Nothing on the left side of the camera except for some branding. Of course, this camera does have GPS for geotagging. I have found that it has performed really well. No problems with that. So on the whole, really happy with this camera. Again, 10 frames per second shooting, all for $250 or less, a 10x lens. You know, will this replace your video camera? Probably not, simply for the fact that, you know, it does have some limitations in the audio department. As I mentioned before, could have had better placement on that microphone. But on the whole, I think that you guys will be really happy with this camera, especially at its current price point. It's, in my opinion, just a clear-out winner. Whether or not the HX5V is something that you will need based on its specs for that extra $100 is really up to you. But really just felt it was important to show you guys the HX5V because it is one of the best point-and-shoot cameras out there. And again, at a good size, an affordable price, and even the accessories at this point are really affordable. So any questions or comments, please feel free to post them as usual. And of course, please feel free to subscribe. Later.